This is so long. Yeah, Hut looks good. Hut broke out. $20 price target out on Hut. So 14 call is going to print, I hope. So anyway, guys, good morning. Happy Lotto Friday. I don't want to talk your ears off for too long, as I know the market awaits, right? And we're all very eager to get this Lotto Friday in. So I'm going to go ahead and start out. SPY broke that downtrend. SPX broke that downtrend we talked about yesterday. I'm expecting a nice move to the upside now. 447 looks within reach. If you have, liked the SPX lately, you could consider the 447 calls. If we get over, our highs, which are 448.9 or 444.89, excuse me. Jeez. Over that level, I like the 447 calls for today if you feel like lottoing some SPX calls. But overall, I'm not too concerned unless we break 440, that 442 level where we initially broke out. I'm not too concerned about a move to the downside. We couldn't, possibly retest this area, confirm the uptrend now, but that kind of downtrend we were in for a while, that channel has been kind of broken. So SPX looks good. Yeah, I'm never going bald. My dad had his hair forever. So second name I'm going to be watching closely, guys, is Netflix. This is one of my favorite setups right now, primarily because they have earnings next week. Somebody actually just tweeted at me and was like, what would be, like, if you were going to swing one setup over the weekend, which I'm not going to do. They were like, what would it be? And I would honestly say it'd probably be Netflix calls, because honestly, I think that this name is going to get a really big pump into earnings next week on Tuesday. I believe Tuesday or Wednesday. The Squid Game stuff has totally, revitalized the public's interest in Netflix as a, public company. Apparently, the price action's been super strong. Obviously, some of those things have contributed to Netflix moving the way it has been. And, we are breaking out on the chart itself, right? So in the short term for Lotto Friday, I'm going to be looking at this 639.80 break. If we break this level, I think we see 640, 643, 644, but we should definitely see the 642 area. That'll be my profit target. If, I take Lotto calls over this level, I'll wait for a retest and then go. As far as upside targets on the daily, I think this could easily see the 660 to 675 level next week. Calls, are going to be, have the earnings priced in. But, if we break over this 646 level, it can get really, really fun, guys. I think you start seeing 660, 670 ramp like very easily right into earnings. So this would probably be my favorite setup. I think we're kind of forming a nice little cup and handle here. I'm not huge on chart formations because I believe that the eye perceives what the eye wants to see, right? Key levels are a little bit more distinguished and actually technical, whereas, chart patterns are, okay, this is, an ascending triangle or, whatever. Bitcoin is breaking out. Let's go. But yeah, so looking at that 646 level on the broader term for Lotto Friday, I'm focused on the 639.80 break. Pre-market highs, I think over the 639.80 level, I'm looking at the 645 calls. You could play something like the 700 calls for next week if you want, if you're like feeling really ballsy. If you want to play, the 650 calls, that's cool too, whatever. I might take a few calls over the weekend for a run up, but for this week today, what I'm going to look for is the 639.80 break. If we get over that, I think we see the 642 level relatively quickly. And, like I said, I would probably play the 645 calls close enough in the money that you should, not deal with any situations like we saw in Neo last week, but I think it should be nice. And, they're getting the CNBC pump today too, Friday before earnings. So I love it when Webull, like, do they really think that I want to look at Blue Sky Digital, some OTC stock? trying to look at Bitcoin. There's the breakout. All right, guys. So Bitcoin is breaking out. Looks like we are going to test 60K here. This is good news for any Riot, all that stuff, because we just broke over that 59.5 level, which was big. So now it seems like it's so funny. Bitcoin just doesn't want to move till the market's open. If we see the ramp over 60K, guys, you know the deal, right? The Mara Lotto Friday becomes my main focus. Any should print big. But, really nice move for Bitcoin. Just broke out of that channel. I'm going to look. Obviously, next test is going to be 60K, which I was actually awake when that happened. I was up late last night. It was like for literally 2 seconds, we touched 60K and then just rejected off of it so quickly. So it was definitely a tease. Yeah, so if you're new, just make sure you read the rules on Patreon. But any call that I make is the closest day to expiration. So if I make a call on Twitter, it's the closest expiration unless I note in the tweet that it's not that day. The other name that I'm really interested in today, like I mentioned, with Bitcoin going, is Mara. That is because it is technically broken out of that big resistance here in pre-market. It actually just broke that huge key level, which was, guys, they had a 200K wall up. I swear on Mara, I was like, what is that thing? Like, who is putting up 200K shares on the ask? And it's funny because it's like, okay, where is that coming from? But yeah, Mara's breaking out right now, headed towards highs. If it gets over pre-market highs, guys, so here on Mara, I'm looking at a closer time frame right now because I want to show you guys if it gets over the pre-market high, which is going to be the 47 or 45.73 level. I like, $46, $47 calls. The 50 calls should do nicely. Mara moves 5-6 points in a day when it wants to, so don't put it past it to that, because over 45 we have a huge gap on the daily, right? Over 45 it's 51 and it's just clear air because we haven't been over that level since Bitcoin was at 60K 62K. We have a pretty clear gap to that 51.08 level. Obviously, because we saw such smooth price action down, we should see really smooth price action up. Like I said, 45.73 is the level. If we get over that pre-market high, we should rip hard. So, going to be watching really closely. Definitely think 49 is definitely doable today. The other name that I want to watch, and this isn't going to be a main focus for me, to be honest, guys, because it's just up so much. But UPST does look good still. The only thing is that I don't want to buy this while it's kind of in this price exploration mode. I would rather see UPST come down to 376 and test that latest, area of, old resistance that it had, right? Our most recent resistance yesterday was at that 376 level before we broke out. So would really like to test that 376 level. And then that should allow us to, make new highs and get towards that. I don't know why. Towards that 400 range, which I think is the next psych level. Crazy volume yesterday. Honestly, like one of the more insane trades that I've let go of early, but not going to talk about that. 376 area, if we test that and fail, I think it goes down. You could play the 375 puts if you want. I think it goes down to that 371 area. And then I think that's where the more likely area is for a bounce. If we saw a bounce there, maybe next week calls, something like that. Bitcoin testing 59.8 now. So 376.77, look for that area to test support. If we blow right through that to the downside, look for 371. Yeah, I'm not going to short UPST. It's like that's a losing game. I tried. Thing is insane. Okay, so the other name that I am going to be paying attention to, obviously, is Riot had a $42 price target out by H.C. Davidson. I'll be watching it. Doesn't have my peak interest, but it's worth noting if Mara goes nuts, there might be an opportunity here with weeklies because they're cheap, because there's not a lot of people playing options on it because it hasn't been moving as well. Which is part of the reason why Riot has kind of gapped up, is because you're just getting so much call buying because it's not distributed between two names anymore. It's just everybody's kind of playing Mara. So, any overnighters comments? I mean, any needs to break the 650 level. If Bitcoin breaks 60K, I think any should take out 9. I mean, it's like a 5% move. If any doesn't move 5% on Bitcoin going to 60,000, I'd be a little bit concerned. I'd be like, okay, well, we tried. If I honestly expected any to be at like 9 right now, like 920. I thought we would likely see 10 today. Cause just like a psych level and, Bitcoin being at 60, it's been one of the names that has been moving better. So, we have a 20K bidder and any at 828 now. So just a heads up. Bitcoin going for 59.9. The last name that I'm going to be watching is Coin. This is probably going to be my focus setup. I think that they've had really good news the past 2 days with the NFT platform coming out and not only the NFT platform coming out, but obviously with Bitcoin rising like this, with the crypto sector as a whole kind of moving really well. What am I going to look for? This one is set up really nicely for a retest of 263 and then go. I think if this gets over 263, guys, if you look at the daily, it's got a lot of room to 270 plus. I think we could even see 272 today. So if we test 263, my focus will be on 270 calls. So yeah, I think any can definitely go parabolic today. I think, it's kind of going to be got to wait a little bit after open. But if we get Bitcoin 60K, it'll definitely spark everything. So sorry guys, I don't know why my throat's all stopped up, but anyway, so this is probably going to be my focus setup, guys. 265.50 is pre-market right now. There we go. We're trading at 265.57 right now. 267.30 is pre-market high, guys. I want to see a retest of 263 off open, so I'm going to be looking for a red candle. I'm not going to chase. It's a red candle off open type of trade for me. So 263.10 break or retest and go. So this is my level to add calls. Going to be focused on the 265 and 270 call weeklies. So that's my Lotto Friday plan. I will post this on Twitter as my focus setup right now. Any 50K bidder in the tape, Bitcoin 59.9. Looks like we might break 60 into open. So like looking to sell Mara $50 calls at open. Nah, I'm probably going to ride it out first 30 minutes. So that's my plan. Overnights, I usually ride out for like 30 minutes. You don't want to sell right at open, right? Because think about it. We're looking to buy calls at open when we want to play something. So if people want to play something, they're likely going to be, buying those first couple minutes. And then the sell point is usually, 5 to, 15 minutes into open. So, all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get ready for open. I'm going to go post the focus setup on Twitter right now. Bitcoin about to break 60K, 70K bidder in any now. So going to be a fun day, guys. It's going to be an awesome Lotto Friday. I'm going to post the focus setup on Twitter now. I will see you guys on the Twitter later today. Have an awesome Friday. Enjoy your weekend if I don't see you again. Sorry, guys. My voice is just completely screwed, I guess.